What is up, legends? We are back, and we're back at HypeWatch. So this week we have a bunch of good stuff to actually talk about. A bunch of good games, unique stuff, all the way around. It's going to be lit. So right when we go in, what we do on HypeWatch is we talk about mobile to PC stuff and give you the hype for the week, and hopefully you are happy with what you hear. So let's start off right away with, as you can see, Disney Speedstorm. For whatever reason, Disney decided that it wanted to do, I guess, some type of racing game that was a little bit like Mario Kart. And, here we are. Now, it's interesting because Disney has had characters and racing games before, but they decided just to make this one. Now, you can see that, all right, here's the pricing on it. The standard bundle is only $30. So for a Disney title, I don't think I've ever seen, besides Dreamlight Valley, which is actually free to play now, I think. I haven't seen a Disney game be this cheap before, so it's not bad as far as that. I did see that they had something there for us to, for creators to come in and try to get free copies, but this really isn't my thing. I don't know if it's gonna be something on the channel that somebody would actually want to see on my particular channel, so I didn't even sign up for that. But if there's any creators out there who want to get into something like this, they do have stuff for you guys. As for everybody else, this is the link. Maybe it might be something for you to try out, but it's definitely interesting, to say the least. Next up is the Expanse. Now, Telltale games usually do a good job of telling a story, and this game, that basically have a Telltale game in space. It's gonna be some hijinks. It's gonna be sad. People are gonna die some type of way. You're gonna be all upset because your favorite character died. They always do that in these games. So I'm looking forward to people playing this on Steam. I'm probably not another game again that I'm probably not going to be into, but I'm going to definitely try to watch some people play it on Twitch and see who makes good choices and who's just a terrible person. So let's go ahead into the next one. This is probably the most interesting game here, called the Wrestlefest. This is if you ever played Final Fantasy, of course, any type of those old type of Final Fantasy, this is literally wrestling with Final Fantasy. It's amazing. It has all of the old school wrestlers: Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, DDP, Legion of Doom, Sergeant Slaughter. Look at this. Look at that Junkyard Dog. The Legion of Doom tag team special is amazing. I know some of this stuff you're probably like, who the hell are all these people? But old school WWE type of stuff. Lots of fun. Now this game is amazing. You can actually download the demo right now if you want to play it. It will be out in 4 days from the time that I'm actually doing this video, of course. No, it's Friday. For me, by the time you see this, it will be Sunday, but you can play the demo right now on Sunday when you see it. Look at DDP throwing the diamond cutter out there. This game is gonna be lit. I'm definitely gonna play it. So going in on this side, Cabal is now available for you guys to try out. I'll probably have a video up before this, but definitely want to put it out there just in case you didn't see the video and let you have at it. And next up we have the new Square game, which is Ketsugo. This is going to be coming soon. This has a lot of hype behind it. Obviously, Square. I'm not going to play the video because it's probably going to flag, but lots of hype behind it. A lot of good gameplay for you guys. I'm just going to give you guys the link. Just to bookmark it. Pay attention. It's going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention to you in the future. It's husbando. Granted, I know people are going to be like, oh my God, I want to play a game with all husbandos, but for once, it's not going to be a trash husbando. It's not going to be normally with stuff like this. What they do is they kind of sell a little bit, and some of the waifu games do the same thing. It's not any different on both sides of the sexes. They just pretty much, you're there just for the characters, basically. But this has a little bit of substance on it, so definitely something that you can look out for. Maybe it'll be up your alley. Next up is Chess Quest. This is completely a idle RPG type of feel, within the same type of thing, made by the same type of engines. You have the vertical slice portrait going on where you just micromanage where the characters run around. This somehow became like a genre and a thing, and it's like it's a mini genre inside of the idle genre that these games like this have getting traction. Now, obviously, because idle is still getting a little bit of traction, not anywhere as annoying as it was before, but it still is making somewhat type of money. So companies are still trying their hand and see if they can get like a niche and get people in. Like I said, Gacha, people are like in denial about it, but I'm gonna talk about that at the end, about the whole Gacha thing, because I see people, I saw like if Scion doesn't know and everything else, like I'm gonna explain to you why I do know and where it's coming from and everything, and like people just don't pay attention to history, and that's what it really is at the end of the day. Darkness Saga. Right here. Now, I have showed this before in the past, but this is coming soon, very soon. Probably wouldn't. By the time it might actually be out by the time you guys see this video, but definitely wanted to put it in because it's one of those games where it's kind of idle, but kind of action too, and the combat is actually kind of lit. Like I want to be that gunner. That gunner looks like it's gonna be fun, so we'll see. Infinity Saga. This is a PTE type of game now. Essentially, there's no such thing as, I guess, a crypto game really anymore because crypto crashed. So they're basically play to earn type of fields, and that's not the same thing as crypto. I had to explain that before. People, it's crypto. It's not crypto. It's not the same damn thing. like you got at least look up and research, yo. But this is coming soon. As you can see, Infinity Saga was once upon a time a mobile, not mobile, MMO, but we'll see. I guess the X is supposed to be like they're trying to bring it back. We have Warframe, which is another idle type of game. This is up for you guys to play right now and hop into. Maybe it'll be something lit for you. Next up is Demon God Idol, a Rise of a Legend. Now, it reminds me a little bit of Guardian Tales. They do have a good deal of action. It's obviously it's an idle game, and it feels more like a roguelike, which is what Cyclic Idol is. And if it manages to do it well, then I'm gonna be happy, because I like those types of games. Like they're actually really fun, where you're actually like roguelike and trying to get good, and you need to dodge things and fight like really hard bosses, even though it's idle and stuff like that. I like the ability that you can put a little bit of skill behind it. So hopefully they do something like that in this game, because I'm looking for another game like Psychic Idol. Psychic Idol, you get to a point where it's just the same thing over and over again once you get strong enough. And now the fun's over in that game, which is unfortunate for me because I thought that's a really good game. So hopefully somebody else will do something like that in the future. War Groups basically is a war game. Like this is war. But if you're into the Command and Conquer type of game, this one might be for you. Just putting it out there. Next up is Cafe Town. This one is probably going to definitely be for my mother. She's high into stuff like this, like Sims, and like cafes. Like one of her favorite games was a cafe game on Facebook, which to this day she still plays. I didn't even know Facebook games still exist, but apparently they do. But yeah, here we go. You got a little gacha in it. Probably gonna catch us swiping, trying to get some character. Next up, which is the last thing that we are going to actually get on this week, which is the major hype. It is the major hype, which we'll talk about. It's kind of short this week because I wanted quality stuff, and there was more stuff to actually talk about, but it wasn't quality, so I just left it all. Now, Ashfall is on mobile and on PC, and this is definitely the hype that you can jump in and take a look at. Now, you can jump into the playtest. You don't need to actually be invited. It says I've been invited, but what happens is when you come to this link, it's going to say request access to the playtest, and almost immediately, if not like maybe a minute, you get access to the playtest, so you can come and actually play this. Now, this is on the Steam. It does have a mobile version of it as well, but good luck with that. You know what happens when PC games try to smash themselves into mobile. It doesn't work out that great. This game is the hype of the week because it's one of the games that, as you can see, it feels a lot like Remnant, but a little bit more free flowing, and you actually move faster in this game than you do in Remnant. So I'm actually pretty interested in it and see like how the excuse me, the team gameplay is going to be. If it's going to be hype or not. What's the AI going to play like? What type of gear you're going to have? And yeah. So, oh, excuse me. So the last thing we're going to get on is pretty much the whole industry thing. So about 10 years ago, MMOs started to fall off. And everybody kind of like, remember, I was originally, my very first channel 15 years ago. I know I'm making me sound old, but 15 years ago, I was a MMO YouTuber. That's when my first channel started. My first channel, I got to like 40,000 subscribers, and I was a World of Warcraft YouTuber. I was a Rift, if you guys remember Rift Online YouTuber. I was a Guild Wars 2 YouTuber, and there was another game, Blade and Soul. So eventually what happened is that MMO crashed. So what happened with me is I said, you know what, I can't stick around at MMO because like nobody really cares anymore. MMO crashed. And that's when I started to do the whole Gacha thing, which led to being on, like, I'm pretty much going to show you just how long I've been doing it. And like people, I know those dudes like get mad and try to hate, but I was the first YouTuber who started covering Gacha as YouTube content and making it popular, and everybody else came after me. Like if you guys remember, Sosa came, and then after Sosa, FG came, and then people along those lines. So I started the prototype, and people actually get upset when I say that, but that's still, regardless of whatever you're upset or not, I still started the prototype for Gacha. What happened, and the reason why we're talking about this now is that mobile is repeating what happened with MMO, and a lot of people aren't really understanding and realizing that. And I'm actually what I was trying to do 2 weeks ago was save you guys money, because I could see what's happened, because I had meetings with people, because industry people were talking about this, because video game industry people were talking about this, and mobile absolutely crashed. Gacha as like a genre, as far as social media, as far as YouTube streaming, everything else just crashed. It's almost not even worth doing it anymore right now. Which doesn't mean that you can't do it, doesn't mean that you won't be successful, but now it is extremely hard. It was extremely easy 2 or 3 years ago, and pretty much this is what happened to MMO. For those who are around for that, and they're like, MMO just died. But it was slow and not as abrupt as Gacha and mobile is right now, as far as like the way games are. You see games come out and they have a 2 weeks life cycle. Now, the reason why that was so detrimental in MMO is because MMOs take like years to make. Like I'm currently making one right now. You see how long it's taking me just to even get it to test. Right now, it takes a long time. There's a lot of world building. There's a lot of tech that goes behind it. There's a lot of programming. So when those die, like almost immediately when they come out, that's really costly. That almost ends the company, basically, if that happens to a company. Now, in mobile, they get a little bit of leeway, which is why you see so many idle games and cheap games being thrown out there, because if they die, they just die. And they cost $100 to make or something like that, which some of them literally do cost $100 to make. That's why they keep doing that, because if you make one that hits big and it costs you $100 to make it, and you end up making $1 million, like that literally, like that sells itself. That's why we keep seeing stuff like that, and these companies keep trying, because they're trying to hit the lotto. They're trying to get that one game that hits. Like Vampire Saver is an example of that one game that hits. Vampire Saver probably costs no more than $100 to $1,000 to make. It probably costs more to get the server than it do to make that game, if we're being 100% honest. So, and they made millions basically easily, probably still are making millions right now. So that's why these companies keep trying to do stuff like this, and why we keep seeing idols over and over again, even though we keep saying we don't want idols over and over again. So it got to the point now where the industry actually understands that we don't want that anymore, but they're still going to try to get that lightning in the bottle, so to speak. And which leads us to right now. You have to not be stubborn and understand that sometimes things have to end. And that's where the whole gacha scene is right now. It had to end sooner or later. We're at the end right now. It hasn't completely died to the point where just nobody can do anything, but it's at the point right now where companies have to come out good or it's over. A classic example of that is the recent games that have all come out now that you guys have seen. Basically, that they come and easily, like if it has 1% of trash that 100% of people can actually see, it's over. It's flat over. Like you're done. You see games that have quality, like kind of like I use as an example, Brown Dust has quality, but it had some hard stuff going along with it. You see hardly anybody doing much with it. You see hardly anybody covering it as YouTubers and stuff like this, because there's nothing you can really do. It has no traffic. People gave up and stuff like that. And like I said, the game is cool in my opinion. I feel that it deserves more traffic, but this is the industry right now. That's where we're at. And people can be in denial, but for everybody else who's sensible with common sense, I implore you to save your money and not wail and go crazy. I'm talking to the whales, I'm talking to the normal people, because a lot of this stuff, probably like 90 to 95% of the stuff, when it comes out, is dead on arrival, like Dead by Daylight. I'm gonna have to start using Dead by Daylight as a term, because a lot of these games are gonna be dead by daylight. Like, as soon as they get daylight, dead. Because one, idle games, like only like 0.5% of idle games are gonna survive. So as soon as you see idle, dead. Like, immediately dead. The minute they have idle in their title, dead. Like, they really aren't understanding that right now. Like, and I'm sure that they feel that they'll be the one, that 0.5% to blow, but you probably won't. Like, remember, I'm saying 0.5, not even the 1%. I'm saying like 0.5. So the other 99.5% dead immediately when you come out. Which I had a company come and actually talk about this. I'm just letting Ashfall do this because I think that this is going to be hype. So that's why I'm letting it rock while I talk about this. People don't really get it. And I'm talking about industry. Industry-wise, the idol industry doesn't really get it that it's over. And they keep trying. It's over, idol industry. I had a company exec from an idol game come and talk to me. He's like, why are you so harsh on it? I was like, how much money did you make? And they kept pushing towards it. And while he was doing that, I went to Sensory Tower and was looking at the game. And I wanted to see if he would tell the truth, by the way. As I was like, you're doing all of this. You got me here to talk to you now because you obviously feel some type of way, because I had said something about their game maybe about a month or two ago. And he didn't know that I was looking right at what he made. So he came and basically said, hey, we made a couple, like 2 or 3 million. And he lied, for one. He didn't make, he probably did, but they didn't make 2 or 3 million. I was like, total? And he was like, yeah, we were around 2 or 3 million. I was like, when'd you come out? Well, it's been like 3 months. Y'all, I understand. Sensory Tower is it has an error swing of around, which you guys don't know, but I know industry, but I'm going to tell you. It has an industry error swing of 30%. So if they say something made 2 million, it probably made 1.5 or 1 million. That's the error swing for Sensory Tower and everything else like that. People like to think that it's 100% accurate, but it is not. The error can actually go the other way, but usually it's them. It's usually over reported. This game at total in those 3 months only made 400,000 according to that. I was like, so with that error swing, even if I give you the 30% of the error swing, you still didn't make $1 million. And I literally told him that, and he paused. He's like, where are you getting that from? I was like, Sensory Tower. He's like, oh, well, try the app brain and everything else. Then he told me to try Crystal Sensory, and which I never heard of that. So I went and looked that up too. And everything was saying the same number. I was like, dog, everything is saying the same number. I was like, I get that you're like the PR guy that's supposed to come out and talk to me about stuff or talk to people in general, but try that with somebody else. and he's like, oh, well, I see you're combative. And I was like, I haven't heard that word in forever. I never used that. Matter of fact, I've never even said that word until now. I was like, you had that in your brain to say. I was like, you just don't come through with that word like this. Because I was like, you're. He tried to make it seem like I was being hostile about it, but I wasn't being hostile. I was just telling him the truth. Like, dog, like, you came to me lying. What you want me to do? Like, I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, even if I give you the benefit of the doubt, I was like, you're trying to tell me that these websites are 250% wrong on your gross or your game. No, absolutely not. And see, that's the problem. Like, it didn't. Like, he eventually left the call because I started reading him even further. I was like, you see, the problem with idle games is that you get cocky, and a few of you start making money. You think all of you can make money, and it's over. You all can't make money. And I'm going to continue to say that on YouTube. Y'all can be mad, which I'm pretty sure that, because I'm one of the few who's saying it. There are other people saying it, but they're not in Gacha. I'm the one of the few. Matter of fact, I'm probably the only Gacha creator saying it. But there's people saying it industry wise who cover like industry, and then they turn and they start covering Gacha stuff too. And I've seen other YouTubers say it that aren't Gacha YouTubers that it's over for that type of stuff. But companies don't want you to know that it's over. They want you to spend, which is why I tell you guys, like, be careful with your money, because it's literally industry wise cash grab right now. That's what's happening right now, is an industry-wide cash grab. They know these games are going to fail, but they want to try to make it back to black to actually make it. Don't be the guy to try to make a game go back to black because they decide to fail and not do proper. Like, just don't be those people. I personally, I want the stuff to go away because it was always crap to begin with. It was craply made. It's not good quality. You're wasting your time majority of the time. I want it to go away, and they actually have to get off their ass and make good games again, like it used to be. Like, so I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to help them swindle people like that. I'm not going to be out here just for some views to say this game is good. Like, classic example, I'll give you an example of that. You see, I didn't cover Tower of God. I'm going to end on that. And you know why I didn't cover Tower of God? Despite it being a good IP, what is it? It's an idle game. It's an idle game. I'm not giving them. I won't be the sellout for something dying like that. I just won't do it. Like, no, people who want to cover it and be happy with it, that's fine, but I ain't doing it. I want idle to die until they actually make good games and stop doing the same thing over and over again. I just won't help. I'll review it if people ask me to review it, but I'm not going to stick around in it and bring people in to something that I know is not going to last a month. Tower of God is not going to be here in a month. Like, it's not going to be hype in a month. It's a cool game. It's, you know, it's fun for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but y'all already see I'm not doing it, y'all. I'm just not. That's me. That's my line in the sand right there. They're gonna make some good games out here. I'm just not gonna just be in them. So I'll catch you guys next video. And this is an example of a good game right here. See you in this one. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.